right here?
Yeah, you could.
Is that good? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I should have said Andi Johnson to say that she does have a full name.
Oh, I do. You can call me whatever. Oh, I'll answer. My name is Andi Johnson, and I am a mother of a 4-year-old and a 5.5-year-old. They're 16 months apart, and a lot of work. And that's my real job. That's my day job. My husband is an engineer, and he works all the time, and I don't see him enough. So we went to a seminar, and it was the 2-day seminar thing with Rich Dad Education, and they actually opened up our eyes to just the financial world. So if you already have preconceived notions of all that education, if I can just ask you to put that aside for a moment, just in these thoughts, just going in there and just learning about the financial world and where we're headed and what are the possibilities, that was a huge education just in those 2 days. I mean, that was amazing. And then after that, what do you do with that? Do you just let it sit there? Do you just forget about it? Do you do something about it? And my husband and I really sat down and we decided to do something about it. We decided to focus on becoming financially free, get it so where he can spend more time with the family. Our goal is to be able to do some world travel, to be able to spend more time with our church, that kind of stuff. All of us have those dreams, and so I kind of took the lead on that. Now, I'm a student, I'm an English major actually, so I'm actually an internal student forever and ever. So I went ahead and bought into the classes, which for me was really good. It may not be for everyone, and I'm not trying to sell you on it, but just so you know where my background comes from, I went ahead and bought into the classes, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. It was the best decision that I've ever made. It was a huge investment. It was a huge step off of that big cliff, but absolutely no regrets. So that's kind of where we're coming from. I have owned a business, a small business. I've been a business owner, and I worked my patootie off, and I actually sold it because it was just sucking the life out of me and my children and my husband and just our happiness. And it was a great business, but I was doing it all myself. So this is much more rewarding. So we've got that small business background, but this has just so far been hugely rewarding. So some of the questions that they asked me to answer, I will go through, and I love feedback. So if you guys want to discuss things and talk and whatever, if you have comments, let's have a conversation. I'd rather have a conversation than me sit up here and talk the whole time. So many of you are actually way more experienced than me, and I know that. So I thank you for your patience. And if there's something that I say that you think might be expounded upon, I'd love that. That would be fantastic. That would be a great conversation for all of us to have. So let's get to it. Let's see, the first question. What have been some of the key learnings from what you've done so far? So we started in May. We started our classes in May. I actually think technically June. And I just kind of really dug down into the classes and learning about investing and learning about all the little parts of investing. And I remember on my little 3-day or 2-day class, 3-day class, at the beginning, the people who were trying to sell us into these packages were very motivating, right? But you can listen to someone talk, and you can go to classes, and you can you might get something different than she gets out of it, and you may not get 100% out of it, everything that everyone said, but everyone's going to get something, going to pull a few things away from it. So some of the things that I pulled away just from that first class was the speaker suggested to read something spiritual every morning, and that was really big, that was really big for me because I hadn't really committed to anything spiritual. I'm actually a yoga instructor. I owned a yoga studio. And so spiritual, from that standpoint meant, yoga. But I really dug deep and dug deep into my Christian faith. And for me, that looks like reading just some excerpts from the Bible, and I went with like a mom's Bible. That really helped me. But it can really be anything. It could be something just short. It can just be a one verse type of a thing, and that was really huge. And I've been able to keep it up since then, and it's really. I actually took a week off, and I was just totally frustrated and ready to quit, and I got back, and I took a big chunk of time and I looked at all the past 5 readings that I had missed, and they were all about finding someone to help you, finding teams, motivation, encouragement, all that stuff. So, anything that you can find that can feed you spiritually is just really huge, and that's going to be that's really important to me. They also said to do or read something that has to do with real estate every night. I actually committed my time while my kids are at school and at daycare to doing real estate. So I actually don't read real estate every night because I do that all day long, it seems like. So, but that's a really big thing. Learning the terms, learning all the things that you don't know. So, this was kind of an interesting thing, and this was really hard. My husband and I, he's a chemical engineer, and he's that numbers guy, and he'll tell you, he's got the calculator in his head. And, I think of his brain, and that Matrix, like on the movie The Matrix with the black screen with the little things, like that's what the inside of his brain looks like. That's exactly what I picture. So our Friday nights would be watching Susie Orman. and House Hunters. I know. Yeah, that was like, woohoo! Big Friday night, the glass of wine. Yeah. So they suggested to us to stop watching financial shows and cut down or even stop watching the news.
Yay!
Yay! Woohoo! Yes. I mean, my husband, I can't get him off the news, but that's been huge. I mean, just to change your mindset, just to change the way you think was huge. That was amazing. And we still go back to Susie Orman every once in a while and tell people what they can afford. So.
Flippin' Vegas is great.
What's that?
Flippin' Vegas.
Yeah.
That is a fun show.
Yeah. House Hunters International. I'm kind of addicted to that. So. Let's see. I like this one. Someone said this to me recently. There's always going to be someone who knows more than you, no matter what, right? Because we can't be experts at everything. Instead of being intimidated, be inspired and follow them. So instead of hanging around the same people the same type of people that you don't want to be, hang around with the people that you want to be. Hang around with those types of people. Get to know them. Get inside their brains. Learn from them. And that was huge. That was, just coming to these meetings, that was huge and amazing for us. Another person said to me, have a mentor and be a mentor. So, and it's kind of hard right at first when you're brand new to be a mentor, but someone's always new.
Yeah, but you're a mom.
You're right. Actually, that's true. And that goes into something else I'll talk about in a minute. So I am a mentor in that respect. So having a mentor, someone to look up to, and then being a mentor, someone who looks up to you, because they're going to have those expectations, and you're going to have someone to teach those things that you know. So the big thing that helped me at the beginning was to sit down and actually schedule office hours. And I don't know how many of you do that. Many of you probably have jobs where you actually have office hours. So the last thing you want is just more work hours. But that was amazing. Actually, as a mom, you don't have hours. It's just 24/7. So, so I was just on call all the time. But that was really, really huge. And every time I find myself getting away from those hours, I get really stressed out and really anxious. So I actually had to kind of come back and reschedule those hours, because things change and you might need to put a little more time into the business at some point and a little bit less at another point. So that was really, really big for me. So let's see, another question is, how have you gotten through the times when you feel like quitting? I pray and I think of gratitude, just having gratitude in different ways, and along with the mentor part of that, my kids, every night instead of saying, now I lay me down to sleep, and the little kids prayer, we just say thank you for something from that day. And it can be, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your spirituality is, you can be grateful. If you can just end your day, or even start your day with just being grateful for just one thing or whatever, it really just kind of changes your attitude. Take a break. Don't be afraid to take a break, because it's really, really easy to just get sucked into it and be up late at night, and your eyes are burning in front of the computer and
yes.
Yeah. So whatever that break looks like, it might be. I like to go to the chiropractor. I know it's really funny, but it's a little mini massage, and you get adjusted, and you just feel so good after that. And it's really quiet in the office when I don't take my kids. So that's nice. Just take a break. Go grocery shopping, or I don't know, whatever you like to do. I know. Okay, I'm a mom. Grocery shopping is a break. So yeah, but whatever that looks like to you, allow yourself a break. There is a book that I just read called Succeed. It's called Succeed: How We Can Reach Our Goals by Heidi Grant Halverson. And she talks a lot about self-control, and about how self-control is a muscle, and how you wouldn't go into a gym and just go out and get the biggest, heaviest weight you can and just start pumping iron, right? You would actually use a smaller one, you'd do it for a shorter amount of time, you'd build up your reps, you'd build up your weight. Day after day, you might get a little bit more, you might use a little bit more weight, you might take the weekend off and then go back to it on Monday. So it's like that muscle. And if you're always under this self-control of I have to do this, and I have to be here, and I have to check this off the list, then at some point you're going to crash. Yeah? Anyone crashed? I totally crashed a couple weeks ago. I was like, what am I doing? But it's a crash, and you kind of lose focus, and so it's really important to be able to take that break and to not lose self-control necessarily, but not have such a tight grip on it all the time. Do something. So part of that taking a break is my husband likes this. But this one is, do something for yourself that makes you feel rich. Anything, whether that means, I don't know, going to get your nails done for the ladies, or Dave. Just kidding, Dave. I gotta pick on you. Or just something that makes you feel rich. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. Just go get a glass of wine, or go do something that just makes you feel good, that makes you feel like you're moving in the right direction. It doesn't have to be something really expensive either. It can just be going out to dinner, or whatever that might be for you. Let's see, what else have I done? For me, I'm very much of a relationship type person. So fostering relationships with people that won't let you quit. I call my husband a pusher. He's a pusher, so he's always, what are you doing? Where are you going? How much is this going to cost? With the real estate stuff. So what are we doing? When's our next deal? That kind of stuff. And he's a pusher, and that's good. And so when I'm like, I just want to quit, he's like, you're crashing. That's okay. Go do something and then come back to it. So I've made some really, really good friends through just these meetings, and this meeting in particular. And I think if I just stopped going, or I just dropped out of just you know, dropped out of doing real estate, I'd probably get some phone calls. Where are you? What are you doing? And that's huge to have those friends. So it's more than business. I mean, I think that